Welcome to the Business Growth Spotlight, where we shine the light and talk with business leaders from all over the world who are here sharing their expertise and wisdom so we can all grow together. I'm your host, Heidi Schalk, co founder of HLH Growth Solutions, where we help businesses scale revenue using outside the box visibility strategies. If you're new to the podcast, welcome. We're happy to have you here. Please stay to the end because we're going to give you a gift for being here today. But without further ado, I want to introduce my guest today. I'm excited to chat with him. His name is Kevin Stubbs with pubGENIUS. So welcome, Kevin, to the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
So can you kick us off, Kevin, and share a little bit about yourself, about pubGENIUS and your role within it?
Sure. So I have a technical background. I grew up in Seattle, which is basically a Microsoft company town. So after high school, I worked full-time in Microsoft and then started one startup that failed pretty much right away. And then I started another startup, pubGENIUS. We started in ad tech, and then we failed again, but we failed into a success. So we pivoted into being an agency, a dev studio.
Awesome. I hear from a lot of people there's a lot of pivoting that happens before the success starts showing up. So what problem did you set out to solve when creating pubGENIUS, and how has that vision evolved with the changing ad tech landscape or ed tech? Yeah.
Well, that's kind of the problem because we started out by seeing an opportunity, like an immediate opportunity in the market, which basically means that we were late to that opportunity.
Mm.
So this is something that changed with my philosophy over time. Instead of trying to, like what we were often saying in the early years was, hey, our competitor is doing X and Y, but we could do it so much better than them. I think building a better mousetrap per se is not the most effective strategy for a digital business. So that's what we tried to do at first. And basically it means that we were playing catch up. And the reasons why our competitors were there first, they're the incumbents, and we're trying to compete on things like price or things like the quality of code. But those are not necessarily the things that the clients cared about as publishers, people that have ad space that they want to sell. So we failed a lot, which is part of the reason why we ended up pivoting away from ad tech almost completely. But because of that early DNA that we built from ad tech, it did help us to land new clients over time where there was an intersection between something else like building a product with advertising as a means of their revenue.
So what sets pubGENIUS apart from other monetization platforms in the market today?
So we're not a monetization platform anymore. We completely pivoted away from ad tech. We're a studio. So we build products for other companies. Like our biggest client right now is Pantheon. They've been a client of ours for a little over 2 years now. And we've been building their new CMS product. So I would say what puts us apart from other dev studios, is that we are intentionally staying small as a team so that we can focus on everybody's quality instead of trying to grow wide with low cost developers. So we compete on, basically our pitch is that work with us if you want to have something built the right way from the beginning. Work with those other companies, especially low cost international companies, if you're okay with having a long time frame. Like if you're okay that this project takes a year or 2 years, as the team you partner with makes mistakes, go for it. If your timeline is okay for this lower budget, then by all means, but we take the opposite approach and we try to go for top of market.
So you created a premium product with with that with proven results. So your clients have choices basically. They can either go work with a cheaper company and hope for the best, or spend a little more and get results faster. Correct.
Yeah, exactly.
Who's your people? Who's your ideal client? So for those people who are like those companies or founders who are listening, and they want to learn more about you, who are the people that you work the best with?
Yeah, our typical client is somebody that's just getting started. So we're using modern technologies, modern tech stacks, and we go fastest if we started from zero. So you can come to us with your idea and we'll build it, get it out to market for you. So that's our ideal. We work with larger and established companies as well.
Can you share some of the challenges you faced when you were pivoting and moving into this new direction?
Yeah, so basically the context of when we were pivoting, we were not doing well. We were struggling with sales. And I was looking at, well, what are the resources we have? Like forget about the ad tech and the stuff that we have. But what are we really good at? What do we have the most of? It's developers, and especially as I have an engineering background. So then I started looking for, well, like how can we position ourselves on the market as a studio? Where do we find these clients? How do we build them? How do we track our time? So common problems in especially the first year or two was we did all this work and we lost money. How? People aren't tracking their hours, or we were too aggressive in our pricing for fixed price projects and stuff like that. So we had to build, okay, we know how to build something with code, but how do we actually build our process for ingesting clients so that we can understand their scope of work faster, so that we can turn around estimates to them faster and push back on certain things like, okay, they want to build Uber for $5,000. Let's not even bother. Like, they're not in the realm of what's even possible. Let's just move on and save our time. So there were a lot of these small learnings that we put together over time. And only after 2 or 3 years of really trying to make it work did we learn enough that we finally got over that, I guess, over the top of the hill.
Yeah.
And now we're going downhill, but in a good way. My metaphor a little bit backfired on me, but but you got it.
I understand what you're saying. You're on the other side of that those challenges, and now you're just
Yes.
in full forward force now. Yeah,
Right.
awesome. But you're going up. You're moving up, not down. But I get where you're
Yes.
at that momentum going, and you're going fast. I love it. So what advice would you have for say a startup that's just getting started in there to avoid some of the challenges that you faced from what you've learned?
Yeah. One of the benefits of being in our position as an agency is that we get to work with so many different clients in a variety of both the sectors that they work in. Like one can be healthcare, and the next day we're working on a project for social networking or something. So we get this perspectives, but also the perspective of people that are in different stages of their growth. Some people come to us with just, I have this idea, ChatGPT told me it's a good idea, to, okay, we've raised whatever, tens of millions of dollars from SoftBank, and now we want to build this new product. What do you think? So it really depends. My advice would depend on the stage that you're in. I think the people that probably need advice the most are the ones that haven't reached product market fit, because once you reach product market fit, then you have only good problems to solve. Like, oh no, we're growing too fast. How do we build these new features faster? That's something that, of course, I can help with, but my advice is not as impactful as somebody that's, say, okay, we have been building this product for 6 months. We don't have any users. What do we do? Like, is the idea bad, or is it a problem with just reaching the users and stuff like that? I guess in general, what I would say is try to get to market as quickly as possible to start to validate your idea. And really, it's more about the validation. I saw a post on LinkedIn recently. Somebody and their friend took a really extreme approach to validation. They said, we promise each other we won't write a line of code until we have a paying client. This is very extreme, but it works. And it would be a really strict filter on your idea. So I would just be thinking about whatever makes sense for your idea, to what validation could you do at this point that you haven't already done. I would be looking at those options.
Yeah, I think you make a really good point that a lot of people don't do. They start creating and spend a lot of time doing that and a lot of money into a product. And then when they go to market, nobody, it's like crickets. And then one, it's frustrating because it's your baby, right? And two, you just spent all this time and money. So I think what you're sharing, especially that LinkedIn post, is so true. Make sure that people want what you have. Go test it, go sell it, have somebody buy it, even if it's not at the price point that you want. You can always evolve that and grow that and raise that up. But just having that proof that somebody even wants it is a huge validation, and then you can build it. Can you share with us, how are you getting in front? I know you work with a lot of different types of companies. How do you reach them? How are you getting in front of them for them to become clients?
This is something that we're still struggling with. So we found success on Upwork, but Upwork has so many problems for us. Even though we have advantages over competition there because we're a US-based company, I think agencies that have no US presence are working at a disadvantage on Upwork. So we basically just built up our profile on Upwork organically over time, which is probably the least effective way that we could have done it. But we didn't know how to do like how to drive traffic to our site from ads or which is funny, starting as an ad tech company. But we were on the monetization side, so we knew how to make as much money for you as possible from your ad space, but we didn't know how to really run a campaign to drive growth. So we just, over time, we decided more and more to just play to our strengths. So it's like, okay, this is working. Let's just do more of this. And okay, there's a million other things that we could do to improve, but we have a limited amount of time and capital. So let's just keep focusing on what's working. And really, that approach for us has turned into focusing on the quality of our product and relying on referrals. So, okay, Upwork is the worst way to do this, but we went on Upwork, we made a really great product, and then that client refers us to somebody else. Or over time, this client, even if they don't have a product that's growing, maybe they have some work for us to do every few months, and you build up a base of enough of those, and it can sustain you. So I don't have great advice for this. What worked for us was to focus on what we do best, but what was informed by us having a lack of time and resources. So if somebody is launching a new product, they would probably not want to do that. If they validated that their product is working, then they can grow a lot faster than we grew.
So what's next for you guys? What's your North Star, your big goals for the next, say, 12 months?
I think one of well, the sales is definitely something we need to solve. So we're going to start experimenting with that. We're going to take some of the profits that we're making now and put it into figuring this out because we know we know that the rest of the engine is working and we know that this is going to be expensive to figure out. So we want to make sure that we really have enough set aside for it. We've tried working with a couple lead generation agencies before and it kind of just fizzled out. We gave them each a few months at different years and we weren't happy with that. So we're going to put aside money to figure this out. We're also going to figure out how to make our organization more robust in terms of right now I have to be involved in all of the sales calls, basically, unless it's a client we've worked with before. So how do we kind of grow up as an organization to scale without me being personally involved in things? And over time, we've been finding something here and there, like, oh, we can have, this developer is really trustworthy. He's well-rounded. Let's have him work on estimates and just finding things to replace over time, but more of a when I can go on vacation for a week, that's the bar that we're going for.
Love that. I love that. I think every founder and CEO thinks the same way when they're starting a business. Oh my gosh, if I could just take 2 days, and just take 2 days, you know? I love that. If I could just go on vacation for a week, I've made it. I'm so good. I agree with you too. I've been there recently. And yeah, I felt the same way. I'm like, "Oh, just have 2 days." Um, so what if we can revisit this? I think you just shared it. I was going to say, if we could revisit this conversation a year from now, what would success look like for you? But I guess it's vacation.
Yeah, you'll call me. I'll be on an island, and you'll know I made it.
I love it. Well, how can people reach out to you, Kevin, and connect with you and learn more about you guys?
Yeah, I think LinkedIn would be the best way. You can find me, Kevin Stubbs. You can also reach out to us on our website, pubgenius.io. And if you submit a question, I'll get back to you.
Perfect. So reach out to Kevin on LinkedIn. You can also go to pubgenius.io, right?
Yep.
Yep, go to pubgenius.io. If you're watching us on YouTube, Kevin and I, thank you. We appreciate you being here with us. Please hit that subscribe button because that allows you to get notified when we have more amazing guests like Kevin sharing what they've been through. He's very vulnerable today, telling you what hasn't worked and also what they're focused on and where they're going. So that will allow you to hear more from our amazing guests. If you're listening to us on your favorite podcast platform and you can hit a review button, we'd love that. 5 stars preferably. That also allows us to share Kevin, his company, and more of our guests with more people. I did promise y'all a gift. So for being here with us, if you are trying to grow your visibility and you feel like you've been trying the things and trying working with different people and you're feeling stuck, go ahead and download our Spotlight to Scale blueprint. You can go to spotlighttoscale.com/blueprint to grab that. Again, reach out to Kevin. He's on LinkedIn. Send him some questions. Go to pubgenius.io. Kevin, thank you so much for being here with me today. This has been fun. Is there anything that you'd like to share or say before we wrap, that I didn't get to ask you or we didn't touch on?
No, I'm good.
Okay, sounds good. Well, thank you all for being here with Kevin and I. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you on the next episode of the Business Growth Spotlight.